There is no better time than the present to be a viewer of the Money Manziel MMA channel. What a beautiful time to be alive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Where today we are going to be talking about who the next UFC champion is going to be in every single division. Our current division champions. Alexandre Pantoja, shout out GOAT. He's not the GOAT though yet. Merab Dvalishvili, really shout out the GOAT. Volkanovski, goated. Ilya Taporia, this kid's different. JDM beating Islam. Hamzat Chimaev at 185. Alex Poatan Pereira at 205. And Tommy Aspinall at 265 at heavyweight. Listen, boys, we have a very good roster of champions that I believe are going to be champions for a long time, bar a few of them that we'll talk about in this video. My goal is to tell you who's going to be next. The timeline's a little irrelevant, but we'll get into it. Matchups are a little irrelevant, but we'll get into it. Let's start off in the Flyweight division. Before we do that, though, let me give an honorable mention to the former champs. My favorite former Flyweight UFC Women's Champion, Molly McCann. One of the greatest to ever do it. Tears are actively coming out of my eyes. Just one of the greatest, a marauder in her day, a tough cookie, as Lucas Tracy would say. This was just one of the most badass fighters of all time, Molly McCann, a true champion. And then Ilya Taporia, when he won the BMF title, him versus Nate Diaz was a scrap man when he won that BMF title. So, just an honorable champion. With that being said, let's get to Flyweight. Listen, there is a Flyweight title fight at UFC 323 between Joshua Van and Alexandre Pantoja. Now, do I believe that Joshua Van will be the next champion as a result of that fight? I do not believe that. I believe Pantoja is going to beat Joshua Van, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to tell you. And we'll get into it when the time comes, obviously. However, and a big however, I still believe that the next Flyweight champion is going to be Joshua Van. Listen, you're hitting me with a Joe Biden grin right now. You're hitting me with the fucking dog in the wind emote. I don't care. I'm going to explain to you how this will happen. Joshua Van will be getting grapple mogged versus Alexandre Pantoja in December. I hate to tell you, it's just the truth. I've already seen the script. It is what it is. But here's what's going to happen. Pantoja is going to either retire or go up after that fight, in my opinion. He's like 36 almost, I believe. He might already be there. The kid's a little old now. He's got some miles in the tank. I think he's going to go up to 135 because they want a new guy for Merab. Because I believe Merab will beat Jan. You do Pantoja, Merab. That's a badass fight. That means you have a vacant belt. And in my opinion, you're going to get a Joshua Van and Brandon Moreno vacant title fight where Joshua Van is going to win because I believe he is better on the feet than Brandon Moreno. Slicker. Moreno tends to just throw his lead hand nowadays. Not a lot of intent behind it either. Thought he looked a little sloppy in the Urseg fight, to be honest with you. I think Joshua Van wins as a result of a vacant title shot, not versus Pantoja. Shocking, revolutionary stuff on the channel. Next up is Bantamweight. And listen, if you put the fate of the universe in my hands right now, you say the death beams are pointed at her, the Martians are asking you, who is going to be the next Bantamweight champion? I want Ayman Zahabi. I'm fucking kidding, bro. It's going to be Umar. Umar is going to be the next Bantamweight champion. I think eventually when him and Merab rematch, I believe Merab beats Pantoja at 135, but that's a conversation for another day. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is going to beat Merab in a rematch. He was very close the first time with a broken hand. People forget, man, he had norovirus and a broken shin. Fucking Joe Rogan. I think Umar wins the rematch, man. It was very close. You could argue he won the first fight. He is the biggest threat to Merab, in my opinion, and should be pretty much everyone's opinion outside of Pantoja. I think he wins the Listen, man, I don't know how he does it. Probably with like a jab and a body kick from the outside, fucking defend the takedowns. I think the strategy versus Merab should be fucking give everything you have to win the first 3 rounds, and then if you're dead tired in 4 and 5, that's okay. Which is honestly kind of what Umar did, but the judges gave Merab a couple of rounds because he emoted a little bit too much. I think Umar wins a rematch. Should be an exciting time. it's definitely not going to be fucking Ayman Zahabi. I'll tell you that. If Ayman Zahabi becomes the bantamweight champion, I will run out into the road and attempt to jump over the fastest coming car. In the nearest coming car. Matter of fact, we'll just go the first car that fucking shows up. I will try and jump that car I show speed style. Okay? So that is what is on the line if Ayman Zahabi is ever the champion at bantamweight. Let's keep it moving, man. Featherweight. Right now, Alexander Volkanovski is the champion at 145. He beat Diego Lopez in April. Um, we have no fucking clue who this guy is fighting next. In my opinion, they're gonna do. I'm hearing it's not gonna be Lerone. To my knowledge, I think it might be Lerone and Diego Lopez are fighting each other because I'm seeing some stuff online that makes me think they're gonna do Volkan Movsar. They've been holding Movsar out. I don't know where he's been. Fuck knows what Yair Rodriguez has been up to. Fucking crybaby. But regardless, I believe the next featherweight champion, and I am dead serious, you're gonna break out laughing. You're gonna start like slapping your fucking thigh when I put this on the screen. Please just hear me out. The next featherweight champion will be Aljamain Sterling. Listen, you know, people forget, man. Aljamain Sterling will be the next featherweight champion. Let me explain how this works, okay? Let me give you motherfuckers a timeline, all right? Here's what's going to happen. Volk beats Movsar in Sydney, Australia, end of January, early February. I forget when they announced that card is, right? He is going to retire on the spot when that happens. All of a sudden, you have a vacant belt. Guess who is there, who arguably hasn't lost a fight at featherweight? I think you could argue he beat Movsar. You could do Aljamain Sterling in the winner of Lopez Murphy for the belt, bro. Is that not a tough fucking fight? They're probably going to give this dude like Yusuf fucking Zalal next, but you could do Aljo in the winner of Lopez versus Murphy if that happens for a vacant title. And I think Aljamain Sterling wins. I think Aljamain Sterling wins a fucking match between either one of them. Just saying. Just throwing it out there that Aljamain Sterling might win that fight. So stay tuned on that. Listen, the title run is going to be immaculate. We are winning the belt. Don't clown me too hard, please, man. I'm trying to get creative here. It's the Money Manziel MMA channel on a Friday. You know how it is. Yeah, man. Let's go to lightweight, man. Listen, the current lightweight champion is Ilia Taptoro. This is the champion, right? There's a lot of great contenders. You have Max Holloway, you have Arman Sarukian, you have Islam if he loses his title fight. You've got a lot of people at lightweight. A lot of people are there that want the belt. Benoit Saint-Denis, my favorite personally out of the title challengers. Real contender there. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, Dan Hooker, a lot of guys, right? There's one name that I purposefully omitted from there because the next lightweight champion of the world is going to be Charles Oliveira. Listen, you can say that I'm senile. You can say that I'm having delusions of grandeur. You can say that I'm an idiot. You can say that I'm the dumbest human being to walk the earth, and I would not disagree with you. I would put myself amongst that category of people. Charles Oliveira has a path here, and let me explain this path to you, motherfuckers, okay? He's gonna fight Max Holloway next, right? They're gonna make that for the BMF fight, probably at the fucking White House. I wish they wouldn't do this shit wherever. If they'd announced the White House fight like 2 months before the card, you wouldn't have fighters being like, oh, I want to sit out and fight at the White House. It's just gonna have people sitting out 9 months before their fights, which fucking sucks, but it is what it is. Charles Oliveira could fight Max Holloway and win. All of a sudden, he would be right in line for a title shot. You do him versus Arman. You do him versus Islam, or fucking whoever is going to have the title, because I think Ilya will move up by that point. He wants 3 belts. We know he's been talking about this. I think he's going to move up eventually. So we'll see what happens there. I think Charles beats fucking Arman in a rematch. Why not, bro? Why not? Almost beat him. Arguably did beat him in their first fight. Not a great argument. Arman really won the fight, but you can't honestly sit here and tell me there isn't a universe where Charles becomes champ again. Is it a pipe dream? Yes. Am I off a lot of stimulants right now? Yes. Is the iShow Speed early stream on IMDb with a 10-star rating? Also yes. You know what I mean? Charles Oliveira, this world is crazy. There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in the world nowadays. I think Charles Oliveira can be champion. And that is what I choose to believe happens. So, fucking deal with it. Welterweight. JDM is the champion. Listen, this guy's never going to lose. JDM is never going to lose the belt ever. Greatest champion in the history of the sport. He's losing to Islam. Listen, let's get serious for a moment here. I like Jack Della Maddalena. I thought he looked good versus Bilal. But we can't fucking act like, when Bilal actually committed to takedowns that he didn't get him. JDM was very good at sweeping. I think Islam could get swept. He made mistakes versus Poirier. But Islam, I believe, is going to beat JDM. I don't know if he'll finish him. But Islam is a much better striker than Bilal. As much as people don't want to admit, Islam is a very good striker. I rewatched the Poirier fight. He was tagging Poirier up, dude, like landing nasty boxing combos on him, step in knees and elbows and fucking 1-2s. Islam is a very good striker, and he's had more and more time to get ready for the striking of JDM. I think that fucking Islam is going to win this fight. I know people don't want it to be the truth. They want to tell me that I'm a loser, that I'm wrong. Go back to America. Whatever people say. I believe that Islam wins this fight and he's the next welterweight champion. It is what it is. The kid's 27-1 after all. People forget, man, Adriano Martins. He's got autism. That's important in these fights. JDM's got it too, but no one out autism's Islam, as evidenced by this photo on the right here. I think Islam's the next champ at welterweight. So let's keep it rolling, boys. Middleweight. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Okay. Hamza Chimaev is currently the champion at 185 pounds. Okay? I am going to explain to you the path that I am seeing here and what is going to take place, alright? Cue the fucking music, play the Volkanovski clip. Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Now that we've gotten out of the way, I think you can take a guess at who the middleweight champ will be. It'll be Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Listen, Hamza Chimaev is going to move up to 205 at some point. He has a weird amount of trouble making 185 for a guy who could make 170 not that long ago. And I think he's going to move up in probably the next year. In that time, I believe Anthony Hernandez is going to fight one more fight. It could be DDP. It could be fucking Brendan Allen again. It could be whoever, man. No clue who he's going to fight next, but Sean Strickland probably. So I think Anthony Hernandez is fucking terrifying, bro. Like, legitimately terrifying. Like Anthony Edwards says here, when things get hard, I get harder. We can all relate to this. I believe that Anthony Hernandez is going to win, man. I think he's going to Hamzat's going to move up and Hernandez is going to win a lot of vacant title fucking fights are coming up in the future, by the way. I hate to tell you guys. They're going to get a lot of Dern and Jandarobas again. But Hernandez is winning a vacant title shot. This kid is taking the belt back to where he's from. I want to say America, but I feel like if I say Mexico, that's racist. He's from somewhere. Anthony Hernandez is from somewhere in the nation. No, he's from somewhere in the world. And we're gonna support him wherever he is. This dude's really scary. Like fucking nonstop cardio, will not stop wrestling you. What he did to Roman Dolidze. Yeah, play the dog clip, real quick.
Nigga, that is rape. You can't fuck that last dog.
Yeah, man, that's the type of shit that he did to Roman Dolidze. I got to be careful with my words sometimes, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I believe in Anthony Hernandez. We believe in Anthony Hernandez, and he is a far cry from the light heavyweight and heavyweight division. Fucking oh my god, man. When we're talking about the next light heavyweight champion, right? At the end of the day, let's play a real video. This is real, authentic video footage of what the light heavyweight and heavyweight division have been up to during the time the UFC fighters have been involved.
During Ramadan, do Muslims eat 30 days? Do Muslims?
It's a true story. That's a real clip of multiple light heavyweight and heavyweights. It is what it is. Light heavyweight champion, right? There's a couple of guys in there. You've got a bunch of elite talents. A lot of people without autism. But there is one man that is bringing storm to this. Yuri Prohaska is going to be the next light heavyweight champion. If you do not defend punches by moving your face into them, what else are you doing with your life? Let's go for that. I believe I am going to be champion next. This was necessary. It was necessary to look like dog shit against Khalil because now I am evolved and Storm is coming to Carlos Oberg. Let's go for that. Yuri Prohaska's winning, bro. I don't know how. Fucking, he'll probably win another vacant title fight, by the way. But I believe in Yuri Prohaska. This kid is going to be the next champion. You know, Yuri needs to lose the first 4 rounds of this title fight that he will be in, and then he will somehow fluke a fucking submission. The Glover Teixeira fight, genuinely, he was going to lose to 50-year-old Glover Teixeira and then submitted him. One of the funniest fight outcomes of all time. Would have been the craziest bet, like plus $1 million if you had Yuri by sub in round 5. But, you know, there's money out there for people in 2025. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Listen, man, Yuri is one of my favorite guys at the end of the day. You know, play the fucking compilation of Yuri clips. Just a spectacular individual. Shout out to Yuri, man. I'm fucking hiccuping right now. He's gonna be champ. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't even know the rhyme or reason, but Yuri Prohaska will be champion. Mark my words, in 2026. Beautiful stuff, really. Let's move on to heavyweight, man. Listen, heavyweight, one of the most dog shit divisions in the history of the sport. You know, Tom Aspinall is a bright light. You know, he fights on Saturday. Let's hope he wins. But there aren't a lot of people. You know, you got Almeida, you got Pavlovich, you got fucking Salsa Boy. You got a couple of people, you know. I fucking threw Salsa Boy in there just for the bit. No way is he going to be champion. If Waldecort does a Costas champion, I will actually like fucking tie myself to train tracks. Like that's the point we're at now. It's 2025. Fucking deal with it. The next heavyweight champion, in my opinion, is going to be Ante Delia. If my fucking computer would work, you know. I don't think you guys understand, man. Having a third nipple, and I will say this again in my predictions next week, probably, for the card that he's on again. It is the best base for MMA. He's got kind of a third nipple thing going on. I don't want to make too much fun if it's like a disease or something, but I think it's just fucking acne. It's a great base for MMA. Everybody needs this. Name an elite fighter that didn't have a third nipple on their body. Just a beautiful thing at the end of the day. I think Ante Delia is the most skilled heavyweight outside of Aspinall, by the way. Great on the ground, fast on the feet, proved that versus Tibora. I mean, who's done Marcin Tybura like that? You know, yeah, man, I believe in Delia. I think Aspinall's eventually going to go to fucking boxing or something, and then Delia will take over in his place. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, man. I believe Delia wins the belt next. I don't know when, but I don't know, man. I bet Aspinall holds on to it for a little bit. I bet he defends versus a bunch of cans, lets Delia run through a couple of contenders in the meantime, and then he'll vacate for the sake of the bit, and Delia will, take the belt. Why he would vacate is because Delia and him are buddies, so I think that ultimately Aspinall doesn't want to fight him. He's not trying to do a fucking, Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman type of thing where it's like sad as fuck if you knock the dude out, which Aspinall would knock this dude out. He's got fucking 5 KO losses in his career. So, it is what it is. I think Delia wins this one. So, that means heavyweight champion. Next one is Ante Delia. Light heavyweight, Yuri Prohaska. Anthony Hernandez will be middleweight champ. Islam Makhachev wins in November, be welterweight champ. Lightweight, Charles Oliveira, next champ, definitely. Aljamain Sterling, no one's going to make fun of me in the comments. Next featherweight champ. Umar Nurmagomedov at Bantamweight. We can agree with that. We can get behind that. And then Joshua Van at Flyweight. Beautiful stuff, man. Listen, fucking let me get through all this real quick. That'll do it for the video, boys. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. The Money Manziel MMA channel is as hot as it's ever been. I do not believe I'll have a recap video for you boys for 321, so you're gonna have to survive without it. I know it's there's definitely no other YouTubers you can watch in the meantime, so fucking, prayers out to you. But, yeah, man, I will be back on Monday? I don't know when I'll be back, but I will have predictions next week. I'll have more videos next week. We'll keep this train rolling, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time to be alive, like I said at the beginning of the video. I appreciate every single one of you for watching. If you enjoyed, then like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know in the comments who you believe the next champions are going to be at each weight division. Please don't fucking tell me to die over the Aljamain Sterling shit. I'm trying to get fucking creative, man, here. I'm trying to, listen, the kid, at the end of the day, we all think Aljamain Sterling will be next featherweight champ. So it is what it is. My TikTok is at MoneyManziel MMA. It's in every description. You guys know how this works. Fucking subscribe, man. Listen, we're at like 300 something subscribers. Pretty crazy that we've jumped up so high in the last couple of days. I appreciate all the love and support. I will see you all in the next one, which is coming at some point in time. In the meantime, have a blessed time. UFC 321 should be a banger. I'll see you boys then. Peace out.